Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Elite Raceway. We are here with our Division 2 group here for the last race group of the week and the last race of the season. Already round 12 of season 5, and honestly looking forward to this. And looks like we're going to have a full grid. Nate Oxy actually able to join, so we're happy to see that. But a full grid for the last race, and boy, are we excited for this. Uh, and honestly, very fittingly, a full grid for this group because. Uh, our Gnosis Division 2 group was our newest creation of the season. So history is made. We already had our championship title winner, which was Nate Oxy, joining soon in the Mercedes. And our Constructors Championship winners, the Mercedes of Nate Oxy and Autron. So phenomenal job from those two. And honestly, I think it has been a fun and amazing season, and honestly, one of my favorite race groups. I think lots of humble and talented drivers. I mentioned before a few who joined in, getting a little bit of the grasp of the no assists, and honestly, showing a lot of improvement. But let's see, was he able to get into the car? Yes. So just to confirm, we are 20 drivers for today. We are here in Abu Dhabi for a 50% race. First, we're going to be doing a short qualifying session for those who are watching for the first time. And it is going to be 29 laps of a race for these guys. A total of 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, 9 left-handers, 7 right-handers, and honestly, plenty of places to really see an overtake, I think. I am very curious to see who our final podium drivers are going to be. We were just mentioning earlier how the past 7 races has been a different um, driver in the podium or for the win. So who knows? I mean, it could possibly be a new driver today as well, or it could be a repetitive one. We don't know. We'll just have to wait to see till the end of the race. But let's see. We do have quite a number of drivers going around. I believe Infinite Eater may have backed out of his lap there. But I will say that even though the championship title is already confirmed, we do have still a very interesting championship battle in the midfield. So Oldenslow in second of the championship. So Nate Oxy with a total of 296 points has a 60-point gap difference ahead of our Manson Oldenslow. Oldenslow with 236 points, so like I mentioned, 60 points behind. But in third, we do have Padron Paz with a total of 197 points. It's 39 points behind our Manson, so his best bet is winning and getting the fastest lap in order to get past Odenslow. That's if Odenslow is able to retire, which hopefully not. But anyways, the battle between third and fourth. So Padron Paz, as I mentioned, 197 points. Leader Leadbag in fourth, 196 points. So just 1 point difference between those two. We do also have Hoven Rowley in the Williams, only 11 points behind of Leader Leadbag. So honestly, yeah, anything could happen. Changes can possibly happen at the end of the season in regards to the standings. So we'll be excited to see what happens. I think the Williams team is also 12 points behind the McLaren. Just trying to double check, just because everybody knows I'm bad at math. Let's see. Keeping an eye on everybody. Oh, so yeah, the McLaren 324 points, the Williams 312 points. So it is a 12-point difference. 1 point difference between the Williams and the Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls with 311 points. So yeah, points are going to matter in this race. Lap after lap, drivers have to make sure they keep it consistent. We'll be keeping an eye on our champion at the moment, who does seem to be. Looks like he's going to be starting his lap soon around this final corner. And according to our weatherman Guardians, looks like it is going to be a dry race, which honestly not surprised. Not surprised since It is Abu Dhabi, but keeping an eye on Nate Oxy to see what kind of pole or what kind of position he's able to put himself in. We do have Hovind Rowley currently holding provisional pole 123.9. Relativity, his teammate right behind him, a 124.3. So about 4 or 5 tenths away from his teammate there, Relativity. But we all do know how Nate Oxy has quite the pace, so we'll keep an eye on him, as I mentioned before. And I do see Archangel went for a lap on the intermediates, probably testing out his the track. Ooh, Nate Oxy, I don't know if it's him or if it's a little bit of a lag or glitch. I don't think it's a lag. Looked a little bit wiggly right there, but Nate Oxy going around the final corner, going to cross the line, puts in a 125.2. And we do have, I believe, only 2 reserves today. So that is Bigfoot in the Alpine, and we also have Master Off in the V-Carb today. Bigfoot putting a really good time, a 125.2, putting himself in the top 5 at the moment. We do have Chevy Wolves. He is running low on fuel, so might actually be finishing up his quali laps there. Ooh, an Infant Eater doing a little bit of a Tokyo drift. Probably trying to get some heat into those tires. My goodness. It looks like he's gonna be going back into the pits. A few drivers looks like are wrapping it up. Ooh, Master Off invalidating, and even with the blinking fuel light still going around one more lap. So hopefully he doesn't run out of fuel before he does. We do have the kick sour of Paulie. Crossing line puts a 125.1. Top 5 now, pushing Bigfoot down. So Paulie D, one of our few drivers who have won a race this season, along with Mini Tony, Nate Oxy. Trying to remember who else. Oh, DR's Maestro. How can I forget DR's Maestro? He's probably listening in and probably saying me. And as I mentioned, DR's Maestro looks like he is putting up his hot lap, going around the final corners here in Sector 3. Tricky part of the track underneath the hotel. But DR's Maestro, who won his first race, his first no assist race 2 weeks ago, did a phenomenal job in Spain, but going to cross the line puts in a 127.3. Might be warming up a little bit there. We do have 2 drivers who have yet to put in a time. That is Chernobyl and Autron. It looks like Nate Oxy isn't that confident on this track today, saying he's definitely not getting P1. I don't know. You seem to you seem to hype yourself down a little bit and then surprise us at the at the end of the race. So we do have Hoban Rowley, who is in Sector 2 on his hot lap. Looks like he loves the lines on the on the sides there. And it does seem like his teammates right behind him as well. So Hoban Rowley up 2 thousandths on his time. Curious to see what Relativity right behind. Actually, looks like we're not going to be able to see the delta. Ooh, Hoban Rowley going a little bit wide right there. As I mentioned, Sector 3, a tricky part of the track. So Hoban Rowley, one of our drivers who has started on pole position, has yet to make that into a win. Is he going to be able to change that today? Relativity crossing the line does improve by 3/10. Puts in a 124.0. We do have, looks like Mini Tony having validated. And we do have both the Ferraris now. Ooh, Atron actually splitting them and is going to put himself in 6th. Wow, on his cooldown lap, going a little bit wide right there. And so we do have the McLaren of Infinite Eater on his hot lap as well. As I mentioned regarding the constructors battle from 2nd to 3rd, between 2nd and 3rd, we do have the McLarens only 12 points ahead of the Williams. So the Williams looking quite strong with a 1-2 at the moment for the starting grid. Curious to see what Infinite Eater is able to do. If he's able to improve on his time. Puts in a purple 2nd sector, a tenth faster than his time right now. Ooh, Infinite Eater struggling. I think this is the 2nd time I've seen him struggle a bit on those same corners there. And looks like he is going to back out of that. And we do have the Mercedes of Neoxy, who looks to have put in a purple 2nd sector. So Neoxy, I'm gonna have to put in the little trophy next to your name on the Discord chat. So just I'll remember that at the end of today. But Neoxy crossing the line, a 124.3, 3/10 away from relativity. Puts himself in 3rd. Let's see, I do think DRS Maestro was putting in his lap as well. Actually, no, it doesn't look like it. Oh, Halfernix having a little bit of a snap right there, taking too much curve. And let's see if anybody else. Looks like the Haas of Fat Angel seems to have improved on his lap. So we do have our front two, Hoven Rally and Relativity, who are currently in the pits. Hoven Rally holding provisional pole with a 123.9. And we do have the Haas of Fat Angel going around the last corner and is going to put in a 125.0, puts himself in 10th. However, Paulie right behind in 11th, finishing up in Sector 2, is up by 3/10, which can actually put him up quite a number of positions. Oh, I take it back. Unfortunately, he invalidates. And, oh man, I should have kept my eyes off of him. Up 3/10 and unfortunately invalidating. So he does have 3 minutes left in the qualifying session. Plenty of time to go around again and try doing it, but it is quite gutting when you do improve and unfortunately just you can't complete it. And so we do have Hoven Rally and Relativity, both of them on their outlap at the moment. So as they go around and finish up that outlap, take a good eye on leader Leadback to see if he's able to improve. And leader Leadback, who is always hyping up the races, was very excited for today's race, and looks like Relativity has already started his. And it doesn't look like leader Leadbag was able to improve much on his lap, so let's go back to relativity there to see what he's able to do. And is actually up 700s on his time. He does have a little bit of traffic right in front of him, but most likely the driver is going to get out the way. Kind of a bit of a deja vu. I'm pretty sure Hoven Rally was taking that similar line, very close out of the, using every part of the track. Archangel in the Ferrari just crossed the line, puts himself in third, pushing Nate Oxy down. So Relativity finishing in Sector 2 has 500s on his time. Looks like he does have the McLaren right in front of him. Does get out the way, but there might have been a little bit of a distraction there, but the McLaren did stay on the right side. I wonder if that affected Relativity's time, but we'll just have to wait and see till he crosses the line. But Relativity not able to improve, and taking a look at Hoven Rally, looks like he might be up on his time. And not my not my controller notification that my battery's dying showing up over the over the delta. Jeez. So I mean, you guys could see it. I couldn't see it, but so I can't even say if he was up or down on his time. Jeez. That's just a sign I gotta charge my controller. So Hoven Rally going on the final corner. And does improve of 123.6. We do have Nate Oxy, who is on his hot lap as well. So Nate Oxy, who is our champion of Division 2 this season, will he be able to put in a pole for the final race? So Nate Oxy actually shows that he's down up a 10th. However, he did put in a purple second sector, so curious to see where he's able to put more time in. Chevy Wolves actually putting himself in 4th, having just crossed the line. And oh no, Nate Oxy almost losing the car there on the final corner, and unfortunately going to have to settle for 5th. We do have our Manson in the McLaren, who had just crossed the line, puts himself in 6th. And do we have any other drivers who are starting or finishing up their quali lap? Looks like we do have both the Red Bull of DRS Maestro and the Kick Sauber. I wonder if that's going to give him a little bit of slipstream. And Paulie actually crossing the line, puts himself in 10th. DRS Maestro right in front of him in 12th. And looks like that is going to be our grid. And Neoxy saying his first corner was atrocious. I don't think I caught that. I did catch that last corner, which is whew. Alrighty, so we're just waiting for a few of the drivers to go back into the pits. Yeah, looks like we're just waiting for the Williams of Hoven Rally. Alrighty, so that is going to be our starting grid for the final race of the season. We have Hoven Rally starting on pole position with a 123.6, a phenomenal lap time. In second, sharing the front row with him is Relativity, his teammate. From third all the way to the end, we have Archangel, Chevy Wolves, Nate Oxy, R. Manson, Padron Paz, Mini Tony, Otron, Paulie D, Guardians, Maestro, Bigfoot, Fat Angel, Leader Leadbag, Hapronix, Infant Eater, Tafur, Master Off, and Chernobyl Clock. So that is going to be our starting grid for Abu Dhabi. And as I mentioned, we're looking forward to seeing this race. Curious to see how Hovan Rally is going to be able to turn this into a win. As I mentioned before, he has placed pole position before, hasn't been able to convert that into a win, but anything could happen. And honestly, best of luck to all these drivers. Has been an amazing season, and looking forward to this final race. Literally back cracking me up on the Discord chat. Jesus Christ. Ay, Alrighty, but for those who are new, we do have a 3 to 5 minute break. This is just to give the drivers a bit of a break, some rest before the actual race, and also to tweak up any strategy calls. We did see from the other groups, a grand majority of them having started on the mediums. Um, a variety of strategies, of mediums to hards, hards to mediums. We only had one safety car, if I'm not mistaken. That was in tier one. So there is quite a lot of runoff. However, a lot of places where you can still lose the traction, uh, and you never know, possibly bring out a safety car. We'll have to see. I don't want to jinx anybody. I'm hoping everybody's able to make it out alive. Literally back. Alrighty, so I see a couple. These guys are too nice, so we are sharing their strategies on the Discord chat. I'll give them that. But honestly, like, I'd love to see a good sportsmanship in this group. I think this group is a really nice group. In all honesty, it's been fun to watch them, and hopefully a lot of them decide to come back next season. Which more information will be coming out soon. But they do have the ready up to start. And for those who are watching for the first time, as I always like to mention, we have no formation lamp on with these divisions. So they'll be going straight into the race. So just a reminder to all the drivers to be extra cautious. You do run with standard damage, so give each other the space, respect the space. Don't push yourself too much into the limits if you think you're gonna spin out. But let's see, we do have the lights going off, and let's see if I can put all this information up. Alrighty, so lights are off, and Relativity already looking to defend the inside. Nate Oxy with a mega start and is able to get on the inside of the Ferrari of Archangel. I did see a little bit of, or hear a little bit of bumping right there, but Archangel still holding third position. I do see a yellow flags. That might be the Haas of Chernobyl, who seems to be dropping down quite a number of positions. But let's see, we do have a couple of drivers looking to make a move on the inside. Padron Pass or Pauly D looking to make a move on the inside of our Manson. I don't think he was able to get the move done yet, but we do have a couple side-by-side battles, and Pauly D possibly looking for the attack on the inside, and looks like he's going to stop the car on time and make it stick a 3 wide in the corners over here. And boy, Drs Maestro making out alive. I think he was the one in the sandwich right there, but jeez. Remember, it's the final race. Let's keep it safe. But Maestro going around on the outside of the McLaren of our Manson gets the move done. Uh, we do have a couple movements happening in the back as well. Leader lead back trying to get the move on Infant Eater, who goes wide, and so Infant Eater is going to lose that position, and to 3 positions up does Leader lead back go. Alrighty, so top 3 have remained the same. We do have Nate Oxy, who was able to get the move done on Chevy Wolves with a really mega start. Mini Tony up 2 positions. Ooh, it looks like we do have the kick Sauber of Paulie. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but looks like that is going to bring out a safety car. Not exactly sure if there was contact or just a loss of control there. But as he always likes to say, consistency is key. So, looks like we do have our first set of penalties. That is Tafur picking up a 10-second penalty. So much for no safety cars. Alrighty, so we're already with our first safety car. We do have all the drivers still bundled up together, so just a big reminder to keep it safe on the restart. And looking at the strategy call, so top 10 having started on the medium tires, Infant Eater, Hafrenix, and Chernobyl having started on the hards. And we did have Polly D, who actually did start on the hards as well, most likely going to have to pit, which honestly, with the safety car works out for him really well. And our only set of soft tires, that is Fat Angel and the Haas. And so it looks like we do have one of the drivers on the front who is going to choose to pit. That is Chevy Wolves. Curious to know why he pit. I don't think he had any wing damage. But it looks like we do have quite a number of drivers who are going to pit. So Chevy Wolves going for the fresh set of hards. Is I think a little bit of confusion there amongst the drivers right there. So just a good reminder, yeah, no side by side under the safety car, yeah. Helps to avoid any confusion, especially with the game oftentimes getting confused itself and giving you the illegal overtake notification when it wasn't. So just a reminder to all the drivers to give each other the space. Don't be tailgating the car right in front of you. Alrighty, so we are going to be waiting for quite a number of drivers to pit. Oh, sorry, to join back with the grid who have pit. So that looks like that is going to be from P17th all the way to 20th, waiting for those drivers to catch up. Oh, it looks like we do have Infant Eater who has chosen to pit as well, going for a fresh set of mediums, possibly going for the 2-stop strategy. It looks like our only set of penalties is to Fur with a 10-second penalty. I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, was again for the ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what happened there, but we'll just have to see afterwards. Anyways, so the Williams doing a really good job, I will say, to keep it 1-2 at the moment. And as I mentioned earlier, they are in a constructors battle for second with the McLaren team, so they will be looking for some mega points if they finish it like this. Alrighty, so it looks like safety car is in this lap. We do have Hoven Rally leading the safety car grid and giving the safety car enough time to go back into the pits. So just a reminder to the drivers, for those who are listening, to be very careful at the safety car restart since all the drivers are back and bundled together. So make sure to give each other the space. Alrighty, so Hoven Rally warming up those tires, and will he be able to have a really good start there? He does have his teammate right behind him. It looks like he has already set off. Looks like all the drivers just following closely behind each other. That is leader lead bag, very close to the McLaren of our Manson there. Looks like not close enough to make a move yet. Oh, no, leader lead bag. A few drivers going wide. Jeez. So I know the cold tires, but just keep it on the track. My goodness, but our Manson remaining ahead of leader lead bag. We do have, let's say that is the, I think that was the Haas of Chernobyl Clocks who tried going on the inside. Hafrenig's going for the switchback and staying ahead of Chernobyl. Oh, we do have the Ferrari of Archangel closing in on Relativity, going for the inside move, and looks like the game not giving me the helicopter view, but jeez, would have been a nice shot. But Archangel moving himself to second, and oh, looks like Relativity, jeez, might be having a bit of a lag. I wonder if, oh boy, I wonder if hopefully that's just me seeing that and not them. But Mini Tony is now on the back of Relativity. Hopefully no connectivity issues with Relativity there, but Archangel getting the fastest lap at 128.7. We do have DRS now enabled for this lap, and looks like the grand majority of the drivers, top 8, less than a second behind each other. Most likely, ooh, looks like our Manson dropping down a little bit, and that is going to be another safety car, and looks like that is the Alpine of Bigfoot having a spin in the same location as Paulie. So I wonder if it's just a struggle with the grip there on that section. Unfortunately, Bigfoot losing his right end plate. I will say personally, I do like safety cars. It does make the race quite quite interesting, but geez, I wasn't expecting this. Nate Oxy saying safety cars soon. Yeah, it looks like a couple of drivers meeting the wall, and fortunately, it looks like the marshals are going to have to take that debris off the track. But anyways, I am curious to see how many of these drivers are going to go into the pits. They've already run 5-lap-old tires. The top 9 with 5-lap-old mediums. Hafernex and Chernobyl with the hard tires. And Chevy Wolves, who was holding up in the top 5 and had pitted early. Or had pitted in the first safety car, so I am curious to see what his game plan is. We do have Nate Oxy, quite a number of drivers actually going into the pits. Hoven Rally and Archangel staying out. I do wonder if Hoven Rally was a bit of a strategy call, considering he did have his teammate right behind him. But look at this. The Aussie man, Paulie D, was almost dead last. I'm pretty sure he was 19th or 18th. And had to pit. And look at that. Another safety car benefiting him and putting him in 6th at the moment. He does have 4-lap-old mediums. However, Paulie does have quite a bit of pace. And his number one quote is consistency is key. So, yeah, looking forward to see what Paulie's able to do. But we're going to be waiting for the grid to pop up together. Hope and Rally still leading the race. We do have Archangel right behind him. It's like the top 4 choosing to stay out. So it does look like Antron is going to go into the pits. Hovind and Rally still staying out, so yeah, I wonder if that was a good idea for Hovind Rally, but I mean, you can't, you never know. Another safety car might come out. Wasn't expecting 2 in the first 10 laps, but these guys always know how to make the race interesting. But it does look like, oh, Wowtron actually pitting. Is he pitting again, or did he just? Is that the same one? Not be sure. But anyways, we're waiting for the rest of the group to show up. Most likely the safety car is gonna come in this or next lap. Pretty sure it's this lap, and I've already lost count. How many laps of safety car we've had. But with Autron pitting, that has put Paulie D in 5th. So we have the Williams, the 2 Ferraris. Ooh, Master Off picking up a 10-second penalty for a collision with Bigfoot. And I don't see any damage from either of the drivers. Actually, I think the Haas of did see a driver with missing end plate damage. I think that is either Chernobyl or Fat Angel. But anyways, we do have the safety car coming in this lap. All the drivers having to be sure to give each other the space, be prepared to brake. So Hovind Rally still leading the race and is giving the safety car time to go back in before he sets off. Archangel putting a little bit of pressure on him, making sure to let him know he's not going to catch him sleeping. But looks like Hovind Rally has already set off, and Archangel's going to follow right behind. Ooh, both of the drivers having a little bit of a wiggle, and that is the Red Bull of Guardians right in the back, who unfortunately lost the car there on the final corner, and unfortunately missing both his end plates. And up ahead we do have Archangel, who got the overtake done on Hovind Rally. Guardians going to be slowing down the grid quite a bit. Drivers behind do have to be cautious, and looks like they are. But anyways, Hovind Rally losing quite a few positions there. Padron Fast getting the move done on the inside. And so much stuff happening at the same time. Jeez. We do have Paulie, who is closing in on the Ferrari of Chevy Wolves. 2 pairs of side-by-side racing, and all the drivers trying to give each other enough space. Chevy Wolves with the 6-lap-old hard tires probably has a better advantage compared to the rest right in the front, but Hovind Rally still trying to battle that position back and looking to make the move on the outside, going a tad bit wide, and a little bit of contact there between the Ferrari and the Williams, and both of them off track now. Oh my god, Chevy Wolves Uh, Going back onto the track, I think that was a little bit of contact with Nate Oxy, but yeah, just a reminder if you're going back onto the track to keep an eye on your mirrors. But Chevy Wells, I don't think he picked up any damage. He is running quite slow though. And no, Chevy Wells doesn't have any damage there. We do have safety car, sorry, DRS now enabled on this lap. We do have Nate Oxy right on the tail of DRS Maestro. Guardians unfortunately retiring in the pits after that spin. Nate Oxy looking to make the move on the inside, and looks like I'm just gonna have to stick with the onboard since I don't get the full broadcast view. Jeez. But DRS Maestro still defending and does have the DRS. Looks like DRS Maestro is going to get the move done. Oh, late braking for the Maestro. And unfortunately, that is going to let Nate Oxy through. We do have the two kick Saubers doing a phenomenal job to get second and third at the moment. So I think they had a little bit of a battle with Chevy Wolves and an Infant Eater. So Archangel with almost 3 seconds ahead of Pauly Z does have 3-lap older tires. Nate Oxy trying to find that opening to get the move done on Chevy Wolves. Pauly D with the fastest lap of 128.6. And Nate Oxy trying to defend from Mini Tony there. And considering the grand majority have pit, I do want to take a quick look at the position changes. So most positions, Infant Eater and the McLaren up 13 positions. Chernobyl Clock's up 10. And Pauly D up 8. And honestly, Pauly D is probably going to be my driver of the day if he finishes on podium. Considering he did get damaged in the opening laps and had to pit early. Somehow climbing his way up all the way to second, doing a really phenomenal drive right there. Looks like we do have a bit of a DRS train. Padron Paz getting the move done on Pauly, but in the back, Chevy Wolves getting the move done as well on Infinite Eater. Nate Oxy a little bit wide right there. Still under pressure by Mini Tony. Mini Tony trying to look on where he can make the attack, and Infinite Eater going a tad bit wide right there. So Archangel extending the gap, and Nate Oxy a little bit of a snap right there, but looks like that is going to work out in his favor. Trying to get the move done on the outside of Infant Eater. Oh, a little bit of contact from Mini Tony. I think that may have taken out his end plate, and yup, he is missing his right end plate on that car. So Sector 1 is going to be a little bit of a pain to really get through with that damage. However, head down, you don't know if another safety car might pop up. Looks like Pauly waiting for the next DRS zone to make the attack. Ooh, getting super close to the to the back of Padron Paz right there. And I do see yellow flags. I think that may have been leader lead bag losing a few positions there. But Padron Paz getting overtaken by his teammate. If they work well together, they could probably try extending or try using the DRS off each other to really grow that gap from the drivers behind. They do have, I mean, Chevy Wolves does have the hard tires, but Mini Tony does have damage, so he is going to be slowing down the pack a little bit. With Nate Oxy right behind him trying to look for the move, and Nate Oxy almost losing the car there. So I think Nate Oxy, with the setup, struggling a little bit on that final sector, really. And Looks like Atron getting the fastest lap of 1:28.3 now. And it does look like Chevy Wolves in the Ferrari has closed in on Padron Pass. Is within the DRS. Padron Pass actually losing the DRS from his teammate, and so Chevy Wolves is going to be able to make the move nice and easily. Does have a better tire advantage considering he's on the 10-lap-old hards. And now our Manson with the fastest lap, 1:27.2. As I mentioned, we do have a battle between the Williams and the McLaren. Oh, and as I say that, both of them colliding. And at the same time, DRS Maestro picking up a 10-second penalty. From that view, I think looks like the McLaren of Infiniter might have thought that was his fault. Couldn't exactly see from the point of view I had, but Infiniter backing out there does have a missing right end plate, it seems. Looks like in the front, Archangel choosing to pit now, getting rid of those 13-lap-old mediums. And we do have Chernobyl getting the move done on Infant Eater, and oh, very close. Jeez. Jesus Christ. Very close between Leader Leadbag and Infant Eater, but just by a hairline, my goodness. Oh, so it looks like both the Red Bulls are going to be retired. We do have Leader Leadbag battling it out with Chernobyl clocks. Leader Leadbag with the 7-lap-old hards, Chernobyl with the 7-lap-old mediums. So Leadbag in a really good position right now. Can possibly try extending. I should probably get quite a number of positions later on if he takes those tires to the end. Does have Atron right in front of him with 6-lap-old mediums, only 2 seconds ahead of him. But Chernobyl closing in, and will he be able to make a move on the inside? Takes a peek, but looks like he's going to stay right behind. So Chernobyl putting quite the pressure on Leadbag there. And we do have Bigfoot and Infant Eater right behind. Infant Eater, who does have that right end plate damage. But it does look like both the Kick Saubers have chosen to pit, and unfortunately that is going to slow down Padron Pass a little bit, considering that's his teammate right in front of him, and he's going to hold him back quite a bit. I wonder if he knew or just... Oh man, so curious to know how far back Padron Pass is going to come out behind of Paulie. Looks like up ahead, Relativity getting past Hafernick's, moving himself up to 4th. And we do have Nate Oxy right on the back of the Aston Martin of Mini Tony. Mini Tony, who, if I'm not mistaken, does have end plate damage. If I'm not mistaken, he is missing his right end plate. But oh, Nate Oxy going... Neoxy going a tad bit wide right there, dropping back over a second now from Mini Tony. Looks like the battle between Relativity and Hafernick's still going as well. And Mini Tony choosing to pit, so here's hoping the crew does change the wing. And looks like it's not. So I mean, it's either he put no and thinks he's fine with the no end play, or is just as shocked as I am that the game decided not to change the wing. But anyways. We do have Atron in the Mercedes closing in on Hafernick's now. Less than a second. Does have the DRS. trying to use up as much battery as he can. It looks like he's not going to make the move. Yeah, he does have the next DRS straight to get the overtake done. Oh, looks like we do have Bigfoot picking up a 3-second penalty. Atron moving himself up to third. He gets the overtake done on Hafernix. Looks like we do have a few battles in the back as well. Archangel, who pit 2 laps ago, now having gotten the overtake on Chernobyl Clocks. So Archangel, 2-lap-old hards. Oh, Bigfoot going a tad bit wide right there. And looks like he is going to get the overtake done easily from that. And so looking at the stops, so we have a few drivers who have gone for the 2-stop strategy. Some had it forced upon them due to damage, but looks like the grand majority, top 8 at the moment with the 1-stop. However, Atron and Hafernix most likely not going to be able to take those mediums all the way to the end. Ooh, Hafernix locking up a little bit, following behind Atron. Atron almost losing the car right there. And Chernobyl Clocks picking up a 10-second penalty for crossing the pit lane entry. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is... I'm pretty sure that was a glitch last game. I'm surprised it's still ongoing. So if it is in fact a glitch, of course you could just appeal it and we'll get rid of it. Just make sure you record the video. But looking at our penalties, we do have Bigfoot and Tafur with 3-second penalties, Chernobyl with 10, and Master off with 3. So less than what Division 1 had. I'll give him that. Way less. And oh, Outron pick up a 3-second penalty, and I think that was from the pit entry as well. So as I mentioned, Outron, I hope you're listening too. And if you didn't hear me before, I'll repeat it again. You can, if it is a mistake, just make sure you record the race and you can appeal it if you think it's going to affect your race results. But we do have leader lead back up to 5th, and looking at the position changes, Hafernix up 13 positions, leader lead back up 10 positions, Tafur up 11 positions, so top 3 at the moment. And as I say, that's Tafur actually dropping down 2 positions there. Yeah, so it looks like Pauly D and Mini Tony getting the overtake done easily there. We do have leader lead bag less than a second behind of Archangel. So Archangel 4-lap-old hards, leader lead bag 11-lap-old hards. We do have 11 laps remaining, and honestly, I think it's fair game from what I've seen. Chevy Wolves, I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to manage those tires all the way to the end. I mean, okay, yeah, I was about to say, yeah. So Chevy Wolves going to pit now, onto a fresh set of tires. I was gonna say, I don't think those hard tires could really go far, but a little bit of a snap from Bigfoot all the way in the background. And Nate Oxy picking up a 3-second penalty now. So Chevy Wolves now going for a fresh set of hard tires. Are going to come out, it seems, right behind of Tafur. And the front looks like all the drivers over a second behind each other. We do have Chevy Wolves trying to get the move done on Tafur. And Nate Oxy trying to get the move on Padron Pass as well. Very close racing from these three. A little bit of a sandwich right there, but Tafur not really going to give much of a battle considering he does have the older tires. Oh, a little bit of a lockup from him, but Still keeping the car straight. Ooh, a little bit of contact between Nate Oxy and Padron Paz, but so far no harm, no foul, and both of them staying steady. Ooh, yeah, and we do. Hafernix, my God. Gee, what a time to turn onto your camera. Jeez. Hafernix going to the pits relativity as well, and so Archangel is leading the race at the moment. We do have leader Leadbag in second with 13 lap old hards. Mini Tony in a really good position. Despite having a missing right end plate, doing a really good job to keep the car on the track, keep the car steady, and hopefully he can remain consistent enough to keep that gap away from Paulie D, who is on 1 lap older tires. However, 9 laps remaining. I'm curious to see what Chevy Wolves is able to pull. He did pit for a second time. We'll be keeping an eye on that delta from between Paulie and Chevy. Nate Oxy with the flap open. Padron Paz with no DRS to defend himself. Nate Oxy going to go on the outside. And looks like he's going to get that move done easily, not going wide as he did a couple of other times, but Relativity battling it out with Hafernix, actually no, with Altron as well. So both the Mercedes getting some battles in tonight. Alrighty, so we do have a bit of a train of drivers now. Less than a second behind each other. Padron Paz might be losing out on Nate Oxy there. Relativity not closing in. He does have Atron right on his tail. Padron Paz looks like he did go a little bit wide right there. And so Relativity with the really good exit is going to get the move done. And looks like Atron is going to get the move done on Padron Paz as well. Padron Paz might be struggling a little bit there. And looks like Mini Tony has caught up to the back of leader Leadbag and Paulie D as well. So leader Leadbag with two drivers right on his tail. Leadbag having to defend with those old lap old tires. And will he? What will he be able to do? He's going to be a little bit slow in this first sector. However, the drivers are going to have the DRS on the next upcoming straights. And Tufor picking up another 3-second penalty there. And looks like Mini Tony is going to get the DRS as well, getting the overtake done on leader Leadbag. That's going to help him pull away. And Paulie D getting the move done on leader Leadbag as well. Actually, no, he's going to break earlier. And leader Leadbag defending the inside line. Ooh, going a tad bit wide. And so Paulie, with the similar move as Relativity, going to have a much better grip on those tires. And is going to put himself in third. It looks like the battle between Relativity and Nate Oxy is still going as well. Nate Oxy trying to defend the inside. And oh no, Mini Tony picking up a 3-second penalty. And that is going to hurt his podium result if it stays close as this. Oh my, they actually going a tad bit wide right there. And oh man, that looks like it is a yellow flags for Chernobyl Clocks. Doesn't look like he has any damage. However, his teammate Fat Angel does have damage on his left end plate. And so it seems like the kick sabber of Pauly D closing in on the back of Mini Tony is going to have the DRS. A Mini Tony with a tad bit of straight line speed with that wing damage. So we do have 6 laps remaining. In regards to the penalties, Mini Tony with 3 seconds of penalties. That can possibly put Pauly and Liebag in podium finish there. However, Chevy Wolves might be joining the battle, considering he's now less than a second behind a Liebag. So Liebag is going to have to try defending against Chevy, who's on much fresh tires. And regarding other drivers with the penalties, looks like none of the other ones are going to get affected. Our Manson probably going to get the overtake done on Chernobyl with that penalty, but oh, Liebag actually dropping down quite a bit, and now almost 3 seconds behind of Pauly. Chevy Wolves now closing in on the inside. And looks like Relativity as well. So leader Liebag with 17 lap old hard tires, not really able to do much to defend against Relativity and Chevy, who are on 4-5 lap old tires. Relativity right on the back of the Ferrari is going to have the DRS. Looks like a little bit of a switch around between the two Mercedes drivers as well. So Nate Oxy and Atron switching 7th and 8th. Oh, and looks like that is a yellow flag, and I think that is the Mercedes of Nate Oxy suffering quite a lot this race. Having a spin, and I do wonder if he it's not giving me the broadcast view. Looks like he didn't pick up any damage, so it might have just been a off-track excursion. But anyways, you do have Atron now on the back of leader Liebag, looking to make a move. Brakes early, and however, he is going to have the DRS off of the V car. Relativity getting the move done on Chevy Wolves as well. So Atron getting the overtake done and is able to get past to put himself in 6th. So again, regarding the penalties, Mini Tony 3 seconds, Pauly D hanging on less than a second behind him. Relativity, I am curious to see if he is able to close up that gap to try closing in on Mini Tony's penalties, but seems also to be an ongoing battle between Atron and leader Liebag right behind. And speaking of leader Liebag, up 8 positions, does have Hafernix right behind them. Leader Liebag very confident on his one-stop strategy here. Let's see, we do have Pauly, who has now closed in even more on the back of Mini Tony. So So Pauly getting the move done on the Aston Martin, putting himself in second. And now we do have Relativity, who is 1.2 seconds behind of Mini Tony. That is within the 3-second penalties that Mini Tony has. And oh, looks like that is another yellow flags. That is Master off in the V carb, having a bit of a spin there. And looks like at the same time, Padron Paz getting the move done on leader lead back, putting himself in 8th. So I'm very curious to know how the safety car actually decided to come out, considering we've had quite a few drivers have some incidents on the wall after. But looks like the game just wanted to settle with 2 safety cars here. But anyways, Archangel doing a phenomenal job to stay ahead. 3.8 seconds ahead of Pauly D. Mini Tony now under pressure from the Williams of Relativity. It looks like they do have Chevy Wolf showing up behind as well. But is Relativity going to be able to make the move on the next upcoming DRS straight? Oh, Relativity going for the inside, and I think he might have missed his braking point right there. Very close to Mini Tony, but both of them doing well to keep the space. Hoven Rally with the fastest lap in 126.7 now. And looks like Mini Tony still battling it out with Pauly D. These two having a little bit of history in Division 1. I don't want to give bad memories. All I like to say is don't get the Aussie man mad. But anyways, Pauly D staying right behind of Mini Tony. Honestly, it's he can either try winning the track position in the race, or wait it out till the end and just let the penalty give him the position. But Pauly D is suffering a little bit. He is actually dropping back quite a bit. He might be struggling a lot more than Mini Tony is, considering he's on 1 lap older tires. He does not have the DRS now, but Relativity does, and looks like Relativity might be looking to make the move. And so Relativity now up into 3rd. And Relativity out of nowhere possibly looking to get a 2nd place position here. Relativity does have younger tires compared to Mini Tony and Pauly. Looks like Oxy trying to give leader lead back a bit of a battle as well. Trying to go on the outside, and I think that may have been a little bit of contact. I'm not exactly sure, or just a snap from lead bag. But Oxy getting the move done on lead bag. Lead bag with 21 lap old hard tires. I mean, if he gets a top 10, I'll be impressed. He was a man on a mission with those hard tires. Jeez. Oh, it looks like that is the Aston Martin of Tafur getting out the way of the race for the race leaders. And Relativity, a little bit of a back and forth between Relativity and Mini Tony. So Relativity getting the move again on Mini Tony. Oh, going a tad bit wide right there. So Mini Tony able to get the overtake done. And Pauly is going to go right through. And this is the final lap. So that was a major mess up for Relativity right there. He's not going to have enough battery to get an overtake done. We do have Archangel going around the final corners as well, but keeping an eye on Oh, Relativity losing it? Actually, no, just yeah, not able to really. Looks like he's struggling quite a lot, and that is going to let Chevy Wolves up a position. But anyways, uh, looking up in front, Chevy's teammate Archangel is going to be getting the win for the last race of the season. Mini Tony getting second, however, he is going to be dropping out of the podium considering that he did have that 3-second penalty. So Paulie and Chevy Wolves, so it's two Ferrari drivers on the podium. Something you rarely see in real life, yeah? And Paulie doing a really amazing job. Honestly, if the game doesn't give Paulie driver of the day, honestly, he's driver of the day in my heart because my God, this man was at the end of the grid in the start of the race and made himself climb up all the way to second. So phenomenal job for Paulie, really. Let's see, anything happening in the back? Say both the McLaren drivers, a little bit of a battle. Bit of friendliness right there, I guess, from between our Manson and an Infant Eater. And Chernobyl, we're just waiting for on Chernobyl to go around and finish his lap. Considering the two drivers behind him were already lapped. So really good points for the Ferrari, I will say. While we wait for Chernobyl to go around, I do want to take a quick look at the current standings. So I did mention there was a little bit of a battle for third on the standings between Padron Paz having a point ahead of leader Liebag. So unfortunately, Padron Paz looks like he's going to be staying with the third place position. Leader Liebag having finished in 11th, Padron Paz in 8th. And Chernobyl doing some donuts on the final race of the of the season. Gotta love that, yeah? Now, if only the game gave me the broadcast view, that would have been lovely. Simply lovely. Alrighty, so we are just going to wait for the podium to go over our final grid of the season. And look at that, the game giving Paulie the driver of the day. Honestly, well deserved. Honestly, did an amazing job. From 10th all the way down to last, I think, and then making himself climb up all the way to second. A really good job for Paulie. But anyways, going around the grid, we do have Archangel having gotten the win. Sharing the podium with him is Paulie and Chevy Wolves, the two Australians, and the one Venezuelan. That is our podium for the last race. From 4th all the way to the end, we have Mini Tony, Relativity, Hafernix, Autron, Padron Paz, Nate Oxy, Bigfoot, Leader Liebag, Fat Angel, R. Manson, Infant Eater, Hoven Rally also getting the fastest lap, but unfortunately out of the top 10, fastest lap with a 126.7, so no extra points for being out of the top 10. P16, Chernobyl, Tafur, Master Off, and our two DNFs, that is DRS Maestro and Guardians. Honestly, really well job for all these drivers. Honestly, for a first season, we do appreciate all the effort that they've put in. Leader Leadbag mentioning that they had less penalties than Division One. Honestly, yeah, that is true. Actually, I totally forgot about that, and we mentioned it earlier. But yeah, honestly, we appreciate all the effort you guys have put into showing up, to show up every week and race. So we do appreciate it for your first season with this group. Looking forward to seeing more next season, and we will be releasing more information regarding all that in the next upcoming days. once we finish all the standings with all the groups, I think we'll be all set. But yeah, just make sure you keep track of the announcements. Make sure you sign up for the new season, and yeah, we'll be looking forward. It'll be a little bit of a break. Might feel long for you guys. Trust me, admins need it to, to mentally and physically prepare ourselves for these nights. But yeah, we do appreciate all of that. We do appreciate all our viewers this whole season from Tier 1, Tier 2, Division 1 and 2 who watch every week, have given us our likes and subscribes. We do appreciate it very much. And yeah, I think that about covers it, yeah? Hope you guys all enjoyed. Make sure you give a like and subscribe. Check our Instagram account. We do have our races posted there. Or well, our standings posted there for the if you're curious to know what the last results were. But yeah, again, we appreciate it. I hope the drivers enjoyed it as well. We'll be catching you guys next season, so stay tuned. Have a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are watching from for the last time. We'll catch you guys next season.